So when drawing your CADs, it's extremely important to draw them so that each pattern piece can have its own fill. So these two CADs might look really similar, but when you go to change it from yellow, you'll see they're a little bit different. So if I were to click this sleeve, I can change this sleeve a different color. And this is important for when we start putting in our prints and we need to move around our prints so that they don't line up perfectly, because that's what it'll actually look like once you sew it. They need to be all separate. So again, it's very important, that each little thing, the way you draw it, each pattern piece that you would take and cut with fabric can be filled with a separate color. So you can do this by just when you draw this CAD, just draw each one individually. Oops, having trouble getting one. Oh, object unlock. There we are. Here we go. I'm just kind of finishing this. Okay, they're all different colors. Great. But sometimes students will draw CADs like this. So if I try to change the sleeve, it changes everything. Okay, and this is just a real natural way that people tend to draw CADs when they're first learning, is that they just draw the outer shape first and then they go in and add the lines. But you really do want to start training yourself to draw all these pieces separately so that you can give them different fill colors. Now, if you're in this situation where you drew the outside first and then you added all these lines on top, that's okay. You don't have to start from scratch and start over. There is the Pathfinder tool that can help you break it up. So to use that, you want to go to Window, Pathfinder, and make sure it's open. Apparently mine is open somewhere. There it is. Then all these lines, they have to intersect. So that's kind of tricky. I think a lot of people kind of mess up there. They just kind of align them to the edge. They don't actually make it cross over because it looks messy and kind of weird. But that's what you really have to do. You have to make sure that they all cross over. So I'm getting my pen tool. Notice the slash line. That means it'll continue drawing an already existing line as opposed to starting a new line. And you really want to make sure, you see that slash line. Okay, P, slash line, P, to switch the tool, slash line. Okay, that should work. Now the only one is this little guy right here. So P, oh dear, I think because it's underneath it, it's not really letting me get it. So I can just manually move it if I wanted. It kind of moves my position though. Okay, that should work. Be honest with you, the way I would like to draw it is to draw this guy all the way over here to that corner, but so it's kind of see how this guy's drawn, it goes all the way to the end. But it'll work like this as well. I'll just show you both options since we're learning right now. Okay, so now I can select this guy and use a Pathfinder, and I would choose to divide. And you notice it got rid of all those little things on the outside, except for this one. I'll have to go in and do that myself. And what it does when I use that, it did break up all of my pieces so that now I can give them all separate colors if I like. The only thing is that it did group it. So if I use my black arrow, it's going to select all of them. So it just automatically grouped it. You can always go Object, Ungroup, but I don't know why you would do that because it should be grouped anyways. I can double click, click, and that'll temporarily ungroup the pieces. So I can just click with my black arrow, or I'm going to double click to get out of that. I can use the white arrow. Letter A is a keyboard shortcut there, and access all of them individually. So they all have different colors. Now, we got to clean up this little mess here. All you have to do is just select that anchor point and delete it. Select it and delete it, and you're in business. So that's a faster way. Let's say, though, it did something weird and it cut up too many things. That didn't happen in this example, but sometimes it does. If you ever need to regroup something that is not supposed to be separated, you can just select them. I'm going to ungroup this real quick. So this and this, let's say they weren't supposed to be separated for whatever reason. Then you go find on the Pathfinder, you can use Unite, and it will bring them all back together. So if for some reason you made a mistake, that's an option to reunite them back together. Okay, so I just want to introduce you guys to the Pathfinder. It's really important to make sure you know, when you draw your pieces, they're separate, and, you know, sometimes some people like to use the Pathfinder to do that. Oh, that's a funny looking piece. Anyways, yeah, hope this tutorial was helpful.